We didn't know what to do. We kind of find, so let's get out of here. And everybody started bailing out. We ran down the steps and we laid on the floor and it just flew right over our heads.
Honestly, the whole time I kept saying, it's just like the movie Twister. It's just like the movie Twister. It's an F1. It's an F1.
Do we have an update from Broward?
No update yet. We do still have that tornado warning in effect.
Quickly as well. All right, let's go back now to Chopper 4. Oh, we do have, before we go to that, we do have funnel cloud reported Atlantic and Rock Island. Okay, Atlantic and Rock Island, so that would have been further west, moving to the northeast. So apparently when this cell went by, as the radar indicated, there was at least a funnel cloud being a tornado that does not touch down. As soon as it touches down, it becomes a tornado. So you folks up here in northeastern Broward County right now, stay away from your windows, stay in the interior part of the house, let this cell go on by, and then we'll watch out and see if this cell down here to the south might develop into something. But obviously a history of some damage. We have reports of hail and some trees down with that cell as it went by the Atlantic and Rock Island area there in Broward County. All right, back to Chopper 4 now.
Would you stop?
Engrossing video shot a short while ago by an amateur photographer who, from what we can gather, was transfixed by the scene as a small child did the very sensible thing and got quite frightened by what he or she was seeing at the time. That shot in the Port of Miami area a while ago. Let's go now to a live picture, which I'm told we have, of an overturned van.
As far as you know, maybe I didn't hear you. I apologize. I may not have heard you speak, but both MacArthur and Venetian are open, or one is and one isn't?
The gate arm for the drawbridge on the west side of the 79th Street, the Kennedy Causeway,
right. That
particular arm blew off, and they were working to repair that. Whether they've gotten that one up yet or not, but that may have... It's not a good day for boating, so perhaps I wouldn't need to use the drawbridge very much anyway today.
As you can see, a lot of the information is still coming into us. We're following it for you. This has been a special edition of a Tornado Watch here on 7 News. What we're going to do now is stay on the air for the
Bay.
Rotating part of the thunderstorm up here, that connection is lost, so now the funnel is dissipating. So at this point, after it went across Venetian Causeway there, the funnel dissipated, but then we heard of some damage over Miami Beach at 41st Street, so it may have dropped.
Exactly, but this, as you can see, moved right through the downtown area, headed right toward Biscayne Bay, which is fortunate that we are surrounded by so much water, since a tornado cannot continue to exist as a tornado over water. It turns into a water spout, or it just plain dissipates, which was what happened in this particular case. But just an amazing sight as we see those counterclockwise winds whirling through, taking roofs off, as we saw, breaking car windows, smashing cars, injuring people, but slightly injuring people at this point is all we know. Power has been out to some 10,000 to 12,000 FP&L customers. We're still waiting for final estimates on that. It's been quite a day.
It sure has, and from a personal note, it came right by our NBC6 studios. We're located on North Miami Avenue and 3rd Street. Let's go back out to Steve.
Whoa. Keep filming. We got it! Yes! Okay. Beautiful!
In Little Havana, another viewer in the process of filming a cable access program stopped what he was doing and rolled on this unbelievable sight.
I saw the cyclone, and I saw the clouds just about getting together for a cyclone, and I said, let me concentrate on this and let everybody stand by. I thought this was more important.
After a while, though, this guy realized he could be in danger.
It was very scary. It was so big, as wide as a building, and it was only about 4 blocks away from me. And I said I was hoping that it wasn't going to go to where I was.
And that's what...
And you can see that giant funnel cloud tearing through the city of Miami with 100-mile-an-hour winds. That large clump you see toward the bottom, that's all the wind and all of the debris that's getting sucked up and twisted and twirled around, going there in the path. There are a lot of people we've been hearing from all afternoon who are in high-rise buildings.
It's an incredible force of nature, obviously very little time to prepare, headed right towards the station. As a matter of fact, went right over the police station, and you look up in the air, and you have debris flying around. You see mailboxes, palm trees, 4-foot by 8-foot planks of plywood flying around like notebook paper, and very impressive force to deal with.
Now, you're about 4 blocks, about 4/10 of a mile from the area where the damage, at least first reports indicate, was the worst. That is to say, Northeast 2nd Avenue and 5th Street. Give us an idea of the sound, the ferocity of this thing as it came past you.
Again, the only comparison I can make is you could be sitting in a theater with surround sound, and it doesn't do it justice. It's a hard, chest-thumping roar that just completely takes over. You're covered by this sound that just completely wraps you up, and you look up at the sky, and again, it's dark, but with debris that's being deposited 10, 12 blocks away from the center of this cone that's actually touching down.
Angel, what are you hearing to this point about possible injuries and the extent of the damage?
The damage is pretty extensive. However, injuries so far have been minor injuries. We do know that people that were caught by surprise were picked up. Some even slammed against walls or buildings. Rescue is doing an enormous task right now, as well as our officers of getting out there. One of the concerns we had, obviously, was our communication system is based here at our central station, and since we were so close to the tornado, we wanted to make sure that our officers were available to help those people immediately afterwards, and fortunately we fared that quite well.
Okay, I know Bill Kamal's got a question for you, Angel, on our weather center. Bill?
Yeah, Angel, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, the myth that everybody thinks tornadoes really can't form in the downtown areas and that they only affect trailer parks and in areas that are sparsely populated. You saw this firsthand developing in downtown. What was your reaction when you saw that?
Bill, this is the first time I've ever experienced, closest I've seen is a funnel cloud that never actually touched down, and being in the heart of the city, being in the heart of a police station, seeing this thing form as quickly as it did and do as much damage as it did, it's just an amazing sight. A hurricane, you can prepare 4 hours in advance. Something like a tornado, a force like that is unimaginable until you've actually lived through one.
Right. I hope this video is testimony to the fact that we can erase the myth that says tornadoes just don't form or affect metropolitan areas. This one, in fact, formed right over a major metropolitan area. And sometimes it does take, unfortunately, an incident like this to heighten our awareness as to the ferocity and the devastation that these storms can cause. We did it with Hurricane Andrew. We went through that 5 years ago. And now, as you said, with no warning except maybe a half-hour notice, sometimes even less, thank goodness we have Doppler radar now. It increases our warning time to the public, but these things can do a heck of a lot of damage in an instant.
Yeah, the myth is definitely dispelled. There is no such thing as trailer parks or rural lands. We're talking about downtown, the heart of a big city, and just amazing force. Like I said, it was overwhelming. It's hard to even do it justice.
Thank you for that. Mark?
Angel, we know that the thing you're supposed to do is stay inside, stay well away from windows, and yet apparently you and some others over at police headquarters couldn't resist going out and looking at it.
Unfortunately, the human element does sink in. We stayed very close to the shelter, to the safe area. However, we did catch a glimpse of it, looked up, and as soon as the immediate danger passed, well, then our next objective was to get out there and assist the people that were out there requiring some help.
Angel, please stay on the line with us. We're going to look at a live picture now, I'm told, from the Little Havana area where there...